Hey, it's your girl Kat coming to you with another video. Today I wanted to just talk to you guys about, I guess, being single and going through different situations. I am one to very much enjoy my solitude and my ability to go and come as I please and do what I want to do. Um, but sometimes there is a point in time when um, you want a companion. And in this day and time, right this very moment, as we are all going through this COVID-19, aka coronavirus pandemic, it can be very terse or intense on when you're alone. I have my days since we've been quote unquote on lockdown where I am very at peace with being home alone, or being with myself. And I find, I'm wanting to try to stay busy, outside of my day-to-day job, um, or whether I'm reading scripture or doing my devotions, my workouts or whatever, because all my life is going to continue to happen. I did spend the first part of this pandemic not exercising, but I kind of got back on schedule with that. But outside of that, having only the dog to talk to, although I love her, and also the fact that she's in much need of some attention as far as the groomer is concerned, which I understand they are still open and active, but I'm just not wanting to go in and out of there right now, just not understanding why a lot of them are still open. Then again, they could be closed by now because they have closed down the servicings of like your spas and your barbers and beauticians and stuff like that. So, and estheticians. So I'm not sure if the groomers still have, I may have misquoted on that. Anyway, just had this thought or idea in my head on just, I guess, wanted to just provide some things or activities that we could do as single people. Like I said, I'm an introvert, so this particular topic may not resonate with many of you. And when I say I'm an introvert, I am a severe introvert. Until I get to know you, then I can come out of my shell. But I could be in the midst of a crowd and still feel isolated. But that's neither here nor there. Why don't you guys kind of help share with me, down in the comments, what are you doing to get through this pandemic? Also, with that, on that same note, how are you handling your health wise? Like I said, for me, I'm still exercising. One of the things I am still struggling with though is that diet. Although my situation is kind of cray right now, with my limited supplies that I may have on hand, because I'm new to a state, new to a city, and new to a job, and I haven't quite transitioned all of my personal things or belongings to my new location. So I'm kind of limited on certain things, i.e. I have one pot. And maybe that I'll start a little series on my one pot concoctions as far as meals that I do. I may do that. What to do with one pot? And I've been doing this now for about 5-6 months. But anyway, that's neither here nor there either. So anyway, just wanted to hop on here and just kind of share, as I said with you guys before. I'm gonna try my best to give you more of my journey. I started this page so that we can go through my journey together, or it may just be a catalog for me personally, but I can't catalog it if I'm not recording anything, and I'm hoping that at some point it may reach other people, and I may not be talking about nothing that anybody want to hear, and my little clips may just not be large enough, but there are things that just sit with me. And the point I wanted to make with this particular video is just the thought I had, I really like being alone, but then again, I do sometimes want companionship, and I have prayed about it. I have asked, another problem I have, sorry for all the jumping around, when it comes to companionship is that I feel like right now God is really doing a work within me. And honestly, I'm not even sure he's ready to put me out there in the world for companionship. He has to be my companion at this time because there are still things within me, I know kind of what I'm looking for in the guy that I'm wanting, um, but I have to also be prepared for him when he gets here. And due to some things that have transpired within my past, and and more so recently, you know, they've had like an effect on my um, just it's had its effects on my finances. It's had an effect on where I'm living and things like that. So I'm transitioning and getting back on my feet. So and I know that God can prepare somebody can come into my life at this time during this transition and be just what I need, but I don't want that right now to be my focus. So I always ask God to help me to do right and be well rested in doing his will before I move forward. So I'm not really readily putting myself out there. I'm not going to the events or things that to be seen, or and not to say that I would anyway, because I'm just not that type of person. But at the same time, I am working on myself. I'm working on my finances. I'm working on my health. Just being prepared, starting a new job, getting engrossed in, wanting to, this job has granted me the opportunity to grow and expand my knowledge in certain areas of the field that I've been working in for many years. So diving into that and possibly even joining some professional groups to become better educated. So this is all part of my self-help, part of my journey. And it's sometimes good to be in isolation, and even with this pandemic, we have to also think, is God trying to get our attention, and which I think he is, and putting us inside the house so we can focus on him or focus on our family, or to get us out of certain situations, or and some people may be looking at this and they be like, what kind of situation you trying to get me out of? And I done lost my job, and I done did this. I understand. Been there, done that, getting ready to write the book on it, okay? So not trying to knock those situations, but in every situation that we go through like that, within turmoil, I just think it's kind of, and this is my own personal opinion and my own personal faith walk, but growing or getting closer to him during those times can make those times that much more cumbersome, or not cumbersome, make that time so much more peaceful to get through. Because going through it without him, the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the fear, then you make yourself sick, So my thing is, if you've done all that you can do to work within, to make that situation right, and there's nothing else you can do, you can't do anything else but depend on him. And just so pray about it. When you've done all you can do, you just have to stand within your zone and say, I've done it. Everything that falls within your will. If you're jobless, I'm looking for the job. I can't help that the pandemic has now hit and they're not calling or whatever, but you're doing your part. So God, within this time, as I continue to look, as I continue to pray, give me the strength. Bless me with your peace and your comfort that surpasses all understanding, that no matter what, you have to pray for that comfort from him, that joy from him. At the end of the day, you have to be ready for that supernatural experience. You have to know at the end of the day, this situation that I'm in will not last always. And I'm not telling you something just to be saying it. I'm telling you what I just went through. 8 months, no job, no income, no nothing. didn't lose a thing. I'm telling you what I've experienced. And that's didn't stop tithing, didn't stop giving. And when I don't have the funds to give, the very thing that I'm needing, the very thing that I was praying for, I wanted peace. Not only is I would pray, so I would give to others, that prayer for others. The very thing I needed from him, I would give or do for others, because that's how our community grows, you know. Anywho, I didn't want to get on here and do a whole Bible lesson or anything. I was just kind of moving around my apartment, and was like, you know, I kind of like this, you know. And there are days I'm moving around him like, oh Lord, you got to come in, Jesus. You got to come sit with me. I need you to hold me. I need you to touch me, because my love language is physical touch and time and attention. I am bilingual in my love language, okay? And I don't have that. But at the same time, and I know I can't get that physical touch from him, but he touches me in my heart, you know. He can give me that peace and that comfort. So that, you know, to me is just OMG. There are still days I battle with that, you know, but Lord, I just need somebody to hold me. But I also know that I'm very weak in that area. Somebody come hold me, you know, I'm a grown woman. I ain't ready for that either. I'm not ready for the consequences behind that. So I have to hold my mule and be like, okay, now we're not going to go too far on that. But anywho, that's all I had to say for today. I hope it touched somebody. I hope it reached somebody. And I'm going to try my best to get on here and do this more often, because I do want you guys to go through this with me. And anytime my dog is growling in the back, so she may start talking to whatever dog is out there in just a second. So anyway, I do hope this reached somebody. I pray that you guys, I'm praying continuously for all of us, our nation, this world with this pandemic, that, you know, whatever God is seeking to do with this issue, help us all to learn whatever that lesson is, but mostly keep us in his presence. Keep us safe. You know, I don't really know, almost really don't know how to pray, because there's so many dying, so many hurt from the ones that are dying, so many scared from what can or could or should or might happen, so many that are careless and don't have I just don't know how to personally or specifically pray. But all I can do is say, God's will be done. You know, thank you, Father, for keeping those or us, you know. It's almost like going out and spreading the blood over your door, you know, to let this thing bypass you, you know, but at the same time, not being selfish with, don't just, you know, protect me and don't forget about everybody else. My heart is just going out for everybody in this situation, especially those on the front line, your doctors, your police officers, your emergency systems people, your firefighters and stuff like that, because life is still going on. People still getting in car accidents. Things are still catching on fire, you know, and the doctors are having to deal with the patients that are deathly ill. So keeping all of our servicemen and servicewomen covered, you know, and at the same time asking and praying for obedience, and, you know, trying for people to do what they can do to try to stop the spread of this. You know, make sure that just because you're not sick, or if you do have a slight cold or cough, and it may be the virus, but your body is able to fight it more so than the next person, what about that person? What about that elderly parent, or that, you know, you just went and, you know, had a party or whatever, and y'all done enjoyed yourself, but y'all gonna go disperse back to y'all locations, and some of y'all still staying with your grandparents. But anywho, I get off on a tangent. Anywho, that's all for today, or for now. If I come up with something else, I'll be back at you. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Smooches. Bye.